Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, run through the weather warnings as we do have multiple thunderstorm warnings and a rain warning issued throughout the rest of today, with even a thunderstorm warning issued for tomorrow as well, as we are going to continue to see some pretty lively conditions in places. We'll have a look at that in detail on the latest UKV and Arome runs, looking at the risk of significant convection throughout the next 24 to 36 hours, and then we'll finish up the video by having a look at the longer range, the latest GFS, GM, Eastern WF, and the ensemble to see what is in store as we progress into early June. As we've seen over the past few videos, it has been extremely volatile about those sort of longer range details. Seen some cooler runs, seen some warmer runs, and today we're definitely seeing some more of those warmer and drier runs. Again, positive signs, but so I think the continued kind of headline is we just got to kind of wait and see until nearer the time, as at the moment there isn't too much in the way of strong consensus from those longer term models. From the video we made on Friday, where we had a look at the ECMWF weekly anomalies, looking at the next sort of 5 or 6 weeks, they definitely were in favour of more high pressure over the top of us, so perhaps that's something that the medium to longer range models are starting to see as well. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, which you like and subscribe, remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Now if you start on the live radar, you can see plenty of heavy showers and thunderstorms breaking out throughout this afternoon into the evening. You can see it's up and down the country really. As we head into Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland and Scotland, you can see less in the way of thunderstorms, but still pretty widespread rain with some heavier pulses within them. However, across much of England and Wales, we've got a breakout of pretty heavy thunderstorms. You can see down into the southeast corner, it's not too bad, but when you look out further westwards and northwards, you see these red colours, which are indicating some pretty torrential rain, hail and frequent lightning. It's this Midlands to Northern England area and stretching towards the southwest where we do have these yellow thunderstorm warnings, and they do expire later this evening. So do still expect a few more hours of these storms, and there is the risk again tomorrow of some more storms, although the risk is reduced. Now, if you put it on the temperatures this afternoon, you can see where we've avoided the storms in the east and the southeast. It's not too bad. Temperatures in and around the 20-degree mark. But further westwards, where we've got more persistent rain, and northwards as well, and we've got those storms, we are going to see very variable conditions with rain and precipitation really cooling it down pretty significantly. So in those areas, not too ideal. But if you do see some sunshine, regardless of how many storms are around, it will feel pretty warm. It is heading into the early part of summer, where the sun is getting to its strongest for the UK, so it does mean any sunshine, it doesn't feel too bad at all. Now, do look at the weather warnings. We did have a look at that thunderstorm warning across much of the Midlands into northern England yesterday, but we've now seen 2 other warnings issued for today. Rain warning issued across southern Scotland, and a thunderstorm warning issued for parts of northwest of London towards the Hertfordshire area, out towards the South Midlands, spreading through Oxfordshire down towards southwest England. Now, this is in force until 7 p.m. this evening, so only a few hours left of this warning, as we are starting to see those storms migrate northwards. And you can see again 15 to 25 millimetres in a couple of hours, 30 to 40 in a few locations, and as expected, it's medium likelihood and lower end of the impact matrix. As we saw on the live radar, you can see those storms aren't too severe, aren't too lively in these areas, but they are pretty widespread. Now, if we do transition northwards, we can see there is a thunderstorm warning here until 8 p.m. for slow-moving heavy showers and thunderstorms causing flooding and disruption in places. We're looking at 20 to 30 millimetres in less than an hour or two, and there could be more impacts, and those accumulations could be higher when we see those showers become a little bit more organised. If you do go back to the live radar, you'll be able to see that they are becoming more organised here through parts of northern England and Yorkshire. And if we do put on the past 24 hours precipitation, you'll be able to see that we are going to start to see over the coming hours some dark areas starting to appear, and this is where these thunderstorms are starting to linger. So those rainfall totals in these areas will tot up significantly over the next couple of hours, where we do see those thunderstorms really taking off. Now then, we've got this rain warning issued for much of southern Scotland, and it expires at midnight tonight. Again, heavy showers and possibly a few thunderstorms, but I think mainly it's for that more moderate to heavy rain. Again, we're looking at 20 millimetres or so, and again, medium likelihood and low impact on the impact matrix. If you finish by looking at the weather warnings here for Monday, you can see another thunderstorm warning from 11 AM until 10 PM. The instability has now shifted much further northwards through much of eastern and northern Scotland, again for slow moving and heavy thunderstorms. We are expecting again 10 to 20 millimeters in an hour, and then maybe up to 30 or 40 millimeters in some regions. And again, it is medium impact here, very low likelihood. Again, these could be updated over the next few hours and the next couple of days, but at the moment, these look like the main risk areas for the rain and storms. Now, if we do go over to the latest UKV, you can see that rain clearing to the north through this morning, because we did see some persistent rain overnight, and then it's opened the floodgates to thunderstorms through this afternoon that will continue into the evening for around sunset, 8-9 PM, slowly fading away. Showers will continue further northwards, and then as we head into Monday, could see another breakout of showers and storms, most severe and most heavy across the north and east of Scotland, where we've got that warning area, but further southwards still could see some heavy, moderate showers here, but they are smaller and not quite as intense. As we head into Tuesday, another weather front sweeping in from the west, and again could be lively in a few areas on the back edge with a few heavy showers and storms breaking out through Tuesday afternoon, but for most it's just a cloudy, bit of a rainy feel out there. Into Wednesday, again more heavy thundery showers breaking out during the afternoon, and then as we head into Thursday, another batch of heavy thundery showers potentially pushing through as we do see that wind veering more from the west. You can see some fresh air masses building in as we do see a bit of a northerly tilt to that westerly wind, but it shouldn't feel all too cold. It's just generally slightly below average. Now, if you do look at the max temperature, you can see this afternoon where we avoid those storms, 20-21 degrees is possible, but under those storms, mid-teens at best. As we head into Monday, you can see into the afternoon, temperatures 16 to 18 degrees, but elsewhere, only 13 or 14, so a little bit below average as we head into Monday, but still should be fairly pleasant in most areas. Into Tuesday, temperatures slightly higher, maybe more towards the high teens in more areas, but still a bit disappointing in many regions, still in the mid to low teens for some. Into Wednesday, again, some more getting towards that 17 to 19 degree range, more around the average of the time of year, but still not terribly great. And then finally into Thursday, again, very similar conditions, cool in places, milder in other areas, but again, it's all due to the fact that it's westerly winds, so slightly fresher air masses are drifting in, which is keeping it that bit cooler. Now, if you do have a look at the latest from the Arome run, you can see this afternoon those heavy thundery showers taking off, slowly drifting away through this evening, but they could continue in places in the west, especially through Monday morning. And then we can see another batch of heavy thundery showers breaking out through tomorrow afternoon across parts of England here. Don't look as heavy, and you can see the Cape amounts are lower. Unfortunately, the Arome does not cover Scotland here, so we can't have a look at that thunderstorm risk. But you can see generally from the looks of this, main activity is through the rest of today. Still some activity tomorrow, but shouldn't be as lively. Now, if you have a look at the latest GFS, see what is in store for the next couple of weeks, you can see the low pressure pushing through at the moment. And that is why it is reasonably unsettled. You can see those westerly winds do continue, but as we head towards that day 7 range, we do see high pressure building in, and it actually doesn't look too bad for a time. There could be some brief northerly airflows mixing in there, but towards day 10, the general wind direction isn't too bad. Actually, some pretty warm air moving in here for early June. So even though the synoptics aren't perfect, actually from the looks of this, it wouldn't be too bad. If we look at the temperature deviation, it is generally average to above average for the time of year, so not too bad at all. If you compare to the GM, again, those low pressure systems coming in off the Atlantic at the moment, high pressure is slowly building in, and it's similar to the GFS with high pressure taking more of a controlling feature here, but you can see that those northerly winds and some slightly cooler air masses are trying to push in, especially for Scotland, and we do need to keep an eye on that. Here though, for southern England, it's actually still more towards average, so not too bad here, just worse further northward. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that, but for the time being, it doesn't look too terrible. Now, after you finish by looking at the latest ECMWF, again, low pressure is still pushing in over the next couple of days. High pressure making a return by the end of the week, building in and giving pretty decent conditions, and then very similar to the GM, we start to see that northerly flow trying to push in, and again we see this massive temperature contrast well below average in the north, above average in the south. And if we actually do zoom in and have a look at the 2-meter temperatures here in the day, 20 degrees across much of England. Further northwards, struggling to get into towards the low teens where those air masses are much fresher. You can see here around the 0 degree, maybe -1, -2. Across the southwest of England, it's 12 degrees. So almost 15-degree temperature contrast here. So it could be some quite lively showers around with that, but we will have to wait and see exactly how those air masses do mix and what happens with that. You can see though from the latest ensembles, it's generally hovering around average, maybe even slightly below average over the next sort of 5 days or so. But as we enter early June, we trend back towards average and then potentially above average once again. Definitely a bit more of a drying signal there into the first week of June. Again, that's down to that higher pressure building in. So again, looking pretty positive there. If we look at the 2-meter temperatures, pretty poor over the next week. Again, nothing cold, but just generally below average around that mid to high teens mark. And then heading back more towards those consistent 20+ degree days as we head into early June. Now, if you compare finally to the ECMWF, very similar over the next sort of 5, 6, 7 days, generally around average or slightly below, and then trending more towards average or above average in the longer term, with the precipitation reducing especially throughout the first 5 or 6 days of June. Not to 0, but definitely less than it is now, and definitely on a drying trend. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how the long term does play out, as we are seeing a lot of volatility, a lot of flip-flopping from the models. But from the latest looks, it does look like higher pressure is going to make much more of an influence, but there is the risk of those colder air masses pushing in, especially for the north, as we head into the first week of June. The only positive really is of high pressure building in, regardless of the air mass, is it will be dry, and that is one good thing this time of year. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you stay safe out in all those storms throughout the rest of today and tomorrow. And I'll see you again for another video soon.